I've got to restart that in 30 minutes.
Does it cut out at 30 minutes?
Yeah, it does.
That's so weird.
It is.
Do you need like a 5-second silence to compress?
We already did that.
Oh, we've compressed already.
Yeah.
Oh, we're compressed silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I get for being late.
You are off and away, guys. So, guys, I'm joined by Serenity von Varda and Skye Scraper.
Oh, hello.
Two of the more easy to remember names in drag, because I've had trouble remembering some names.
Yeah, which ones?
Well, now
Name
at the time it was hard to remember.
Yeah.
But like now that I've interacted with them more, it's much easier. But that's not, so it's really not an issue anymore. But I remember I really struggled to remember Impulse Control's name.
Yeah.
Because Impulse Control was a huge help with the research for the first drag episode I did with Donna. And yeah, that was a serious, I wanted to tag her in the episode because I wanted to credit everyone who helped in the research for that episode, because I come from a entertainment world separate from drag, and I thought, this is an interesting way to introduce people to an element of drag and introduce people from drag to comedy.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be a real meeting of the minds, and it was. Donna and I got along like a house on fire.
Oh, you two are both cookers. 100%.
Yeah.
This is a really good episode.
Oh, the first time we met was, you've probably heard that story. Oh, well, the first time we met, I was tripping major balls because I was on a lot of acid at the time.
Oh, no.
And Donna was pissed off her face. So it was a real meeting of minds.
No, 100%.
Yeah. You know what this kind of looks like? This looks like kind of like a weird high school reunion.
That's so funny. Look, we've come back and we're trying to impress everyone without
Well, I try and underwhelm people.
This is a 10-year high school reunion brunch. But I'm the entertainment.
Now, let's talk drag names. One thing I love to ask is, now you've already said this on barbecues podcast, but I'm going to get you to rehash.
Oh, God.
But drag names, how'd you come up with it?
My very first name was Sunshine.
Oh.
It's such an awful, and
it's gorgeous.
It was cute at the time because I was 19 and I was fresh-faced and I was bald, and I came out as an egg during my very first competition. Didn't go home first.
A drag queen named Sunshine.
The drag queen named Sunshine. Drag queen named Sunshine came out as a sunny side up egg. 3 months in, didn't go home first though. Thank you, Cindy Crosscheck.
Oh my god. Because that was Pop Princess done.
No, this was Crown of the Court.
Oh really?
2019?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Because you had
I had that box braid on my fucking head.
Shaved head and this one braid that came around, and I thought it was the most avant-garde thing I've ever seen in my life.
Which I found on the floor at Connections, on the door.
Great time.
And I just said to myself, you know what would be funny?
Was it a clip-in?
No, it was literally just a box braid that had fallen out of somebody's head.
Oh my gosh.
And I said to myself, I looked over to Freddie Be Perfect at the time Flow Real and was like, would it not be funny if I got some spirit gum and glued this to my bald head?
So that wasn't actually your hair?
It wasn't actually my hair, it was some random girl's hair that had fallen out at the club.
And you kept that same one?
And I kept that same one.
Oh, that's hysterical.
So I came out bald the first week, and Barbie Q, because she was judging the first week, said, I really need to mark you on hair, because hair is one of the categories.
Right.
And I was like, I've got you. So I came back the next week with the braid on, and she was like, well, now I can mark you for hair. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Sunshine, I was Sunshine for like a year, and then became Serenity, standing next to the dishwasher at Connections. I'm not even kidding. I was like, you know what would be a cat name? Serenity. I'm very at peace right now. And my...
Because I feel like it's Sunshine but elevated.
Yeah, literally. And my ex-fiance, who I proposed to at Connections, was really into like Joss Whedon and like Firefly and like Serenity.
The science fiction series.
Yeah. And I was just like, I mean...
Is Serenity a character?
Yeah. It's just, it's the movie.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me as well.
It's gone straight over my head. Speaking of fictional characters and celebrities, I reckon if I point it out, you'll be able to guess it before I say it.
Okay.
What celebrity does Skyscraper look like?
I guess a lot.
I don't know.
Shall I say it?
Yeah, go on.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Tony Abbott.
No!
I was like, don't be mean.
No, never.
I was like,
No, Benedict Cumberbatch.
okay, yeah, okay. I can see that.
No, I do like wearing a Speedo, but I'm
I
not.
was going to say.
I get Benedict Cumberbatch a lot, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a bad look at all. He's a very interesting, good-looking fellow.
A handsome man. I like that. I
Mm.
like that a lot.
I wonder where Cumberbatch comes from.
I think it's close to the McGillicuddies. I think they're sister houses. The house of Cumberbatch, the house of the McGillicuddies.
Comes on a cucumber batch.
The house that Cumberbatch is carrying.
Yeah.
They're carrying.
Now, here's another question for you, and I got to ask this of. I've always been thinking of new questions to ask drags, and a question I thought to ask Sassy and Blake. Shout out Sassy and Blake, because I think Blake, David, is easily the nicest drag I've met so far. So nice to me, so welcoming to me. He was nice to me the very first instant he met me, and he's been nice all the way up until through. Such a good dude. And so that's what he is getting. I mean, if we're having our own little award ceremony for the degenerates, Blake gets nicest degenerate.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Congeniality.
Yeah.
Mr. Jared.
Nicest degenerate of the degenerates.
Yeah.
So you two
I
are
should have
official.
punched those cards.
I mean, I've always wanted to do one thing I can't wait to do, because I've been promoting a lot of rappers, comedians, and drags.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to do is I want to do an audio-only episode, while tripping balls, with a rapper, a comedian, and a drag. Wouldn't that be fun?
Like, would they have met before, or have
No.
they been existing?
No.
I like that. It's like
Thrown in the deep end.
Yeah.
like real stranger danger kind of vibe. Yeah, I like that. And see how they.
Park them around some microphones and just. I'll be turning on my galaxy lights and we'll be looking at the stars and having weird conversations.
It's like a TikTok content house.
Yeah.
It's literally all they do is just feed like these teens alcohol and just like make some TikToks go.
That's
Make
so
some
fun.
content.
And would you like load it with like people with different political views and like stoke the fire? Or
No,
would you
this
like
is an anti-political podcast.
I love that.
Keep
Most politics is not worth exploring.
Thank you for bringing Tony Abbott up, Serenity.
Yeah. Yes, and as you can see in this very much of a casting couch setup with the camera and everything, it's
I hadn't noticed the camera.
Serenity did.
The minute I heard camera, I said, "Yep."
This is very.
Bear in mind, I found out about this podcast 15 minutes ago.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah.
Super trooper.
Tutu, you've been outdone because Skye came on 5 minutes' notice, and
That's how desperate I am.
I know. Your boyfriend Richard is going to give you a real harsh form of punishment for this. I hope. What should he do to Tutu?
Oh.
Something that Tutu. Actually, I was about to say he should give Tutu a fisting. No, Tutu might like that.
I'm just not going to say anything after that. I can't say anything. I've been bound by a formal contract with being his mother.
Oh.
You're replacing Toots tonight.
Oh, bless.
Because Toots is unfortunately getting ready for this massive showcase that's already been sold out. That's for his like dance community.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna put you in the solo, and so you have to learn it today."
Oh, that's such a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, but they're just like 3 hours ago. It's just
Yeah.
That's showbiz.
This is the world of showbiz.
Yeah.
Late
I mean-
pullouts and things like that. late pullouts. Yeah,
I
usually.
love a leg pull out.
Mm.
Where's the button? Yay!
That's okay.
Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Or even better one. See, you should do comedy.
See, this is the thing, I'm good at roasting. I'm the only person who has successfully, in this city, done a good fucking roast. I can plain and say that.
Well, you know who I'm going to get to MC my next open mic, the open mic that I run and organise occasionally.
Sure.
Kimmy Head.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But as Kimmy or as Reese? One is Kimmy and one is Reese.
Probably Reese, because then they can bust out the number that I used at Cherry Bomb with the two ladies with the.
Ronnie Rum Punch and Tiffany Tassels.
Yes. I can tell you really like that show.
The Drag King competition for me was one of my most humbling experiences because I got to give back to the community that's given me so much love. Because I started in a generation where there was more drag kings in my scene than there were drag queens. And there were a lot of really strong up and coming kings. Alexis had really just found like the groove of like Carl Chaos and was really pumping out some stuff, and I was really looking up to not only Alexis and Carl but as like Sam as a professional like person. And like he gave me a shit ton of advice like growing up as a performer, so to be able to make it like a full new title for this community is like it was one of the biggest blessings I could have done this year. I try and do something good for the community each year. So I say that to give back and to be like a true person for the community, you have to do at least one major thing every so often. So
Throw an event, suck off a homeless person.
Literally, just community service.
That's it. Yeah, really important. Giving back.
Yeah, giving back.
And taking back. Giving and
Giving and receiving.
Yeah, back to the community. That's it.
Good lord.
But you do a good job of it too. Like live, work, pose, honey.
Thank you.
Like, you got a proud award for that, didn't you?
Yeah, I won. Thankfully, I honestly didn't expect it, but.
They all say that. I
didn't expect it.
No, I didn't.
Everyone was amazing this week.
I was going up against like really big names and really big names in the industry, like Barbie's variety shows, Dean Misdale's variety shows, some really important like drag and burly crossover events, and there was my one night event. Thankfully, we raised over $8,000 in that one night, but I didn't think that I would be.
What were you doing to raise $8,000? How were you raising $8,000? Were you
did we go down the rabbit hole?
Were you like auctioning off
Look at the accountant in the room.
Were you like auctioning off hours alone with the drag queen?
No. So essentially, one drag queen that was very popular in this community. Did we just name names?
I mean, if we're not saying anything bad about it.
Is about to bring up history.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? You're saying it.
Okay, after the spotlight was like shone on the Perth drag community from Scarlett Adams and her history, and then being cast onto RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under season 1.
Scarlett Adams was the one who did the
blackface. There's a lot of red in her ledger, but she has like made a very big effort to atone for her shit. So I really respect her for that. But right during that gap where she was cast on, and the spotlight was shone on Perth as a community, shit was not looking good for us. Perth drag was getting absolutely dragged through the mud on social media. A lot of queens were getting called out. Queens who were not even related to the drama, who were just in the background of a photo. Queens who unfortunately did produce and like put on shows who were unbeknownst and uneducated. So I said to myself, why not put on a big old charity event? There's queens in Brisbane who have done it, and they've been absolutely successful. Let's do it here. And all of the performers donated their time. It was a mix of drag, burley, circus, like a whole different bunch of shit. And like probably 15 performers donated their time.
Lovely.
And tickets were $30 each. And then the Burlesque Hall of Fame show that year donated an extra $2,000 for us. So that raised our total to $8,000.
Right.
Incredible. And where did it go? What was the charity?
It went to it was an Indigenous Literacy Fund over East, and Women's Rights Fund for Indigenous women and queer women.
Very nice.
So it was, it was incredible to see that we sold out Connections nightclub. That one little like September night, and from that it's just birthed so much.
That's awesome.
Good shit in the community.
Varda, as Leonardo DiCaprio says in my favourite movie of his, Django Unchained.
Oh.
Where he plays a questionable character, but he nails it.
Did you see that interview with was it him and Samuel Jackson? Samuel Jackson was mentioned because wasn't he in the movie?
Yes.
Yeah, and he unfortunately Leonardo DiCaprio he was cast in the role and he had to say it. He said they trying to get out the N-word, and Samuel Jackson's like, just say it. It's the part of the character. If I can say it, it's fine. So I'm like, I do not know how I would feel to be in that position.
It was really funny one time. I was out with two of my black friends, and they're both Sudanese. And we had just watched the movie. I'd seen it before, but we had done like a movie tonight together. We were all broke apprentices at the time. So like one pint at a pub and a movie night was like our night out, you know. And then we pretty much collected as much booze as we could through the month just to get shit-faced at home. So that was our night out. Anyway, we were at the pub getting our pint, and my friend was ordering a drink for me and my other friend. And I was the one white guy. You know, in this scenario, I'm the token white guy. And they're both clean-shaven guys, and here's my friend. He orders us the drinks. And he was like, 2 beers, guys? Yeah. And he was like, 2 beers? Yeah, 2 beers, bro. Sold to the man with the exceptional beard. And I can't finish the rest of that sentence.
Oh my...
He was black, so...
Oh, okay.
But we were pissing ourselves laughing for about a solid 10 minutes. Like, you know, it was honestly one of the funniest moments of it, one of the funniest days out I've ever had with those boys. And everyone looked at us, they could hear, looked at us like we were very questionable, but we just rolled with it. And it's like...
It's nice to see that person in the room.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Look, I wear this on nights out, so I'm used to getting that look these days. I didn't wear it at the Pride Awards. I should have, maybe.
Oh, best dressed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't laugh.
Oh, traumatic.
I think you should have worn your
You
onesie,
should have
'cause
worn it.
As long as you feel proud on what you're wearing, that is, I bet it's also a red carpet, so it's a bit of both. Like, feel better.
Yeah, that's the carpet.
That's it.
Yeah. Really fulfilling the fantasy of getting stepped on, you know.
Were you stepped on?
No.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
No. That's just a kinky fuckery joke. You know. What you get up to in the bedroom, you know.
I actually, when I was in Berlin at the Kit Kat Club, there was a guy who was like on the ground wanting to be stepped on.
Okay, word.
Yeah, actually, and like I had to like.
Did you have your pumps on?
No, I didn't.
You just packed a pair of heels for the evening. You're like, oh, you never know.
No, yeah, but all power to them. Like maybe it's like a chiropractic thing as well. Like sit my back and then crack my back. Like maybe there's like pleasure in that too.
Odds are he's probably like a big CEO or something.
I was talking about this in an interview I did recently, and we also mentioned it on the Blake Cassette and Sassy Cassie episode, where a mutual friend of ours, a sex worker, who shall remain nameless, Jane Doe,
I'd laugh if that was her. If that was her like.
Drag name.
If that was her like.
Sex name.
Girl name.
Yeah.
Her crossy name.
Yeah.
Crossy name.
She puts on the wig.
Yeah.
She does the job. She's one of us. She's our sister.
But she was saying, and I was like making the observation, and like I was betting, I was like willing to wager a bet that the guys who are into being subs probably want to be subs because they have to be in control over so much of the rest of their lives. And so being a sub and getting hot wax dripped on their balls against their will is probably like a nice release from control from them. Yeah.
Well, I work as an accountant, and in the corporate world, it gets pretty stressful. And I just love being a silly drag queen. That's my release. It's just if you're going so far in one direction in your life, you kind of need a bit of the opposite, just to pull yourself back to average it out in the middle.
Work-life balance.
That's it.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's such a good dichotomy between you as John, the absolute camp accountant, and then you on stage as Skye in like a black bob, a House of Priscilla number, some giant
Bill McKelly. Basically Bill McKelly.
Giant 6-inch black pumps.
Yeah.
And she's 8 foot tall.
What's crazy is, I was making this observation recently, when you see a drag who is already tall out of heels. Yourself, I'm thinking also Lollapalooza, Donna Kebab.
Donna's huge.
And you saw I've heard.
If you went to that she's done a few naked numbers where she gets her dick out.
I've heard.
Yeah.
She said on the podcast, I think. Maybe that was off air.
Meat spin.
Sorry?
Meat
spin, love.
Meat spin.
Oh, deadly. The next question I want to go on about is, I've been posting these very stupid fucking TikTok videos. And I've recently started a thing where I've been video responding to thirst comments. And I never thought I'd be at a stage where I was getting thirst comments in my life. Because normally I'm dressed as a homeless man. And
is it a range of genders and identities?
Mostly dudes.
Word!
I think there's a couple of chicks in there, but mostly
the
dudes.
community.
Honey.
Yeah, as you do. And I've been responding to some of them. I had one recently which was, I think it said, yes, choke me to unconsciousness. I was like,
diva. It was probably mascara. It was probably mascara.
Oh my lord.
She is a sick.
And how do you find that? Do you think
I find it oddly flattering.
Yeah.
But I'm also one of those people who it's like, maybe I was cute in high school, but I also had a persona in high school that was not attractive because I was a fucking psycho. And I still am, but a different kind of psycho, And I've evolved, and like a Pokemon.
A heavy access to mushrooms.
That helps too.
An elevated psycho, if you will.
Anyway, I didn't believe I could not believe that I've ever been attractive in my life because I've never done anything to be attractive. Funny, yes, but never to be attractive.
So what you've done.
Sorry?
This is very cheesy.
What?
But you've been yourself, and that's attractive.
Mm.
But it's the tea, though.
Yeah,
People are very much attracted to confidence.
You can smell authenticity. That's it.
I'm gonna go be sick for a second.
No.
But this has been something of a different thing, getting this kind of... Because I didn't post these things to get that kind of attention. But the attention is being had. And, flattering, just strange. Now, I imagine you two posting photos in drag, you must get all kinds of thirst comments. Much more obscene than I. I started getting thirsty DMs.
Do you get some of the...
I'm not really a social media queen.
Serenity, though.
Darling, I'm sure
So
You're good on the Instagram. Like,
I used to get these very random messages from lovely guys from Saudi Arabia.
oh, bless the Saudis.
Yeah, from Saudi Arabia, from the United Arab Emirates, from like just very. They
Places
want
where homosexuality is repressed.
that, but I think it was a lot of straight questioning guys who like want the, for lack of a better term, the exoticness.
Right.
This is a message I got from someone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god, you're so freaking hot. Are you interested in friends with benefits? Question mark. I can spoil you with money and lots of love.
That's just sweet.
That's really cute.
I blocked that person.
Look there.
Yes, if you don't want that kind of a response. Yeah.
Well, I took someone's advice. I wasn't sure what I should do about it, but I took someone's advice, and they said probably block them, and I was like, okay, I'll do it this once.
It's unsolicited. That's the thing.
Look,
Start with a hello.
I say shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Have a go. Like, you always let to ask someone. And if you politely decline, sometimes it's better than saying no sorry than to remove because they can sometimes go on a bit. You know? And you have the right to block people on your social media. And then if that's
Shoot
gonna
your
save
shot.
time, I think, shoot your shot. I
On
mean,
their face.
if we sometimes yes. If we can't tell people that they look attractive and hey, like you look awesome, I'd like to go on a date with you. You know?
Yeah, but there's a difference between like, hey, you're really cute, to hey, choke me out till I'm unconscious.
Yeah.
Like, there's a level of respect.
Yeah.
Respect and courtship.
You would have gotten those requests.
Too many. I've gotten the blurred out photos that you have to then accept. So
Like
then
that, you gotta click on them like
you gotta
3
click on them
times.
to actually see, and then a lot of the time it's just a soft dick.
Have you ever gotten a dick yet? You've been impressed?
No.
No.
They're not even good dicks.
There
You just send a photo back of your dick, and it's like, look at this motherfucker.
Not even by somebody else's.
Yeah.
It's just like, here you go. We're just trading dicks.
Someone else's.
now. It's like, ooh.
The other thing is, now I want to talk to, what are your pronouns?
She, they.
She, they.
Honestly, I'm like anything but it.
Yeah.
Anything but it, and I'm chill.
But I feel like you know, I've built up a rapport with you. You've always been lovely to me. You have a certain understanding of male humour. Because I made this observation, you know, in my comedy, and I do it for laughs. I have 3 sisters that I'm very close with. So, and having 3 sisters that I'm very close with and respectful to, and a mother that I love, I have women in my life I put up on a pedestal. I like to think it gives me a license to shit on cis women a little bit. Okay. Now, because cis women do a lot of silly shit.
Look, this is not gonna turn into a trans-hating women thing. Or not at all. I'm not gonna turn this into like.
It won't turn into a women-hating thing.
The middle finger to the women's rights movement podcast.
I also have 2 sisters, and you know I'm close to little girls. And I think as men as well, but yes, all people do silly things. Yes, continue.
But I was like confronted recently because I have a lot of male friends and a lot of them have girlfriends, and you know when you're close with a mate and you just flirt outrageously with them, even between straight guys do it, and like girls try to do it, and
To other girls.
yeah, and they're like, oh, play with each other's bra and things like that. And then they look at guys like, is this making you uncomfortable? And it's like, I just think to myself, no, I'm kind of like disappointed at how lacking you are. Because it's like, and it's like,
Where's
why?
the authenticity?
And it's like, why? What do you guys do? It's like, I will threaten to suck my friend's dick at gunpoint, okay? In front of his girlfriend. Both the threat and the action. And it's like,
Present it.
There was those guys over east that part of the rugby
get your
club.
fucking dick out!
Literally, there was a guy at the rugby club tower.
Yes.
Who
It was a bet. It was a bet.
It was a bet.
If you lost this thing or whatever it was, you have to suck your dick or vice versa.